This is the most recent addition to my trinkets. It is a mouse with a cowboy hat on.
Wow. Thank you.
And in another life, I think this could have been Swimbert.
Sexy
You know what I
rat
mean? Look at him.
X Squinbert. Not Squinbert. Oh my god, I'm so sick. Squinbert.
My spurt.
My spurt. Hey, that could still happen.
Anything is possible.
So, hi everyone. Welcome to Abby's player interview. This is the last one that we are filming. And basically we're just here to talk about Theo, where she started, where she's been, where she's going. Because we are now halfway through our 1 to 20 campaign. And when we were a quarter of the way through, Jesse and I talked about you guys without you there. But we did not, and I actually remember talking about Theo a lot during that part. Because at level 5, Theo is like our main character.
So many things were happening to her.
But we haven't had some Abby time to talk about Theo, which is more important because Abby made her. So
yeah, I did.
Abby, tell me about what's your memory of how you joined the campaign?
Oh, how I joined or like how I made Theo? Do different story.
First, you, Abby. How did Abby join the campaign?
Okay, so the thing is that when Joe started planning the campaign, we didn't think that I was going to be able to join because I was in 2 other campaigns that were virtual at the time, and I was like, I'm about to apply for grad school. I'm about to graduate. I can't do that right now. Whatever, but you can tell me brainstorming ideas. And I was like, yeah, this is fun and good. And then when things were approaching the times where I was actually graduating, applying for things, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have too much time on my hands. Actually, yes, please, can I play? I think also it might have also been the reverse where you actually asked me for real, and you're like, wait, hey, and then I was like, yes, please.
I think, yeah, at that point I was like, I know you said you're too busy, and I know that you already know several secrets about this campaign because we thought you weren't playing, but you're graduating now, do you want to do it?
I was like, yeah.
And then also
which is really good because immediately once I graduated and like was working a real job and everything, all of the campaigns I was a part of, immediately we were all like, oh god, we all have no time to do anything, can't meet. So all of my campaigns are gone, and this is the only D&D I'm currently playing right now.
This is exactly times 2.
365 plus 364
days since our first session of Terrador. Tomorrow equals 470.
Nah.
That's
I want
still
you to
not right,
put the number right here.
It'll be right here, and that'll be the correct number. But that many days since Terrador session 1, and we're doing Abby's halfway there.
Yeah.
Interview now.
I was there from the beginning.
I also... Oh god. I had a really great thing to say. I
can say something while you're thinking.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, the other thing that I just want to say, the fun detail, that we made an excuse for why I knew so many things secretly is that we just gave Theo extremely high perception. Like I started at level 1 with expertise in perception because we were like, that's the only way. The things I knew were kind of, I had to actively be like, and don't act like this.
Yeah, right.
Act like that's not true. You gotta pretend. And so, but then that's why it's always really funny when I roll like a 3 on perception, because it's like I have a plus 12 or something like that. It's like I have so much, and I technically rolled a 12.
But it was a nat 1 or whatever. Yeah.
But it was like, a nat 1. So I had a 12, but it was a nat 1.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was some of the things that Abby knew about the campaign before it started are still things that have not come fully out yet. So Hashtag stay tuned.
And I continue to know things that won't come out yet.
And that's
because I'm the artist.
That's what I was gonna say. Because you had oodles of time on your hands, completely not like we didn't even think about that. Abby just said, "Hey, if everybody sends me descriptions of your characters, I can draw them." And then we were like, "Oh my god, we'd have official character art." Yeah. So
that was when I had a billion hours of free time, and now unfortunately everyone has to pay me a little bit of money because I simply don't have time, and so the money is really helpful when I spend time out of my stupid busy schedule.
An incredibly reasonable underselling amount of money she sells this art for.
It is truly so funny because it was truly only until I was like, so hey, I have to schedule my days in 30-minute chunks. If I'm gonna get these done in any reasonable amount of time, there might need to be money.
Yeah. No one cared either.
Grad school is horrific. Never do it unless you want to, in which I would highly recommend it.
I would say that for most things in life, but yeah.
If you don't want to do it, you super don't have to. But if you think you want to do it.
Right.
Do it.
And so like Abby knew a bunch of stuff ahead of time because of that. Abby knew about Lorik's 3 spirits because she had to draw the multicolored outline, which you weren't told that, but you like pretty much inferred it. And you drew our logo, you drew the Terrador's Trespass banner, like almost everything on the channel is made graphically is made by Abby.
It's right behind you. The posters.
Oh, yeah.
My posters.
Up here, this is the art for post-production. Abby did that. Abby made this logo. Abby made all of these guys.
All
of this was drawn by me. All of this stuff, I actually made that too. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff here made by Abby. But yeah, you also continue to know a lot of things ahead of time of other people because you know things about art. And sometimes we'll be like, hey, for no reason at all, we need a guest star nameplate. Could you make us one of those?
Could you make one of those? With all pronouns?
Just in case. But yeah, so we got Abby and we knew that you were going to be in the campaign. Do you remember the conversation of like, okay, we need 3 different pairs, each from a different nation. Like, do you remember being paired up with Danica and like how you chose Imperia?
I remember being paired up with Danica. I don't remember how we chose. I remember that I think we were like you were telling me about all of the party members that we already had, and it was like, let me think about who is it. It's cleric, sorcerer, bard, rogue, or no, Cyrus is a fighter, but still, I was like, oh, that's so many squishies.
Yeah.
And then
sorcerer was certainly not there. Heidi didn't join until level 7, but
no, yeah, exactly. But then I was like, oh man, I don't really want to play like a really heavyweight player because I don't want to. Surprisingly, I mainly am a spellcaster. I love magic. I write about magic. All I do is talk about magic. And I chose a martial character, and I really do like her. I think that martial characters are a little bit more rewarding in terms of immediate, like, yay benefits. Yeah. Magic is super cool if you stick with it long enough, and then you're like, I'm gonna summon the moon right here.
Yeah.
Your dick fell off.
Yeah.
Like, that's the nice part about being magic later, but...
And it does kind of come to, like, an intersection point where then, in later levels, I think full martial classes are always like, okay, I hit 3 times.
I keep hitting.
I miss. My turn's over. Or, but then if you're a spellcaster, the wizard's turn is 25 minutes long. But at the beginning, it's like, I do
8,000 damage.
At level 1, it's like, I hit once. Nice, a hit. Okay, I hit him for 4 hit
Oh,
points.
nope.
Awesome.
I didn't get that one because secretly I
hit
don't
it.
know how to add my modifiers.
Because I did all my modifiers to the first 5 levels.
And I keep rolling 12.
Yeah. Super awesome. From my memory, you go first.
No, yeah, I just have a funny story about spellcasters because my first character was a wizard ever. And in the first battle, I had no combat spells prepared because I was like, we're going to a party. Nothing's going to happen. And then we got into a battle, of course. And it was like half of us because the party like sort of only was just now meeting each other. It was like, oh no. And someone with a warhammer who was fighting us just immediately hit my character and she died in one hit. And was just immediately revivified by another NPC that was there. And it was just like, we said that because she died and then the next person's character was the revivify, so we said that she got computer restarted.
Yeah, that's really funny. This is also off topic, but Josie's very first time ever playing D&D, like in a real like DM party setting, was a one-shot that Jesse did, and the way that he opened that one-shot was by having us play characters in the past who died to the thing that we were going to fight in the actual one-shot. And so he gave us all like random one-shot, or not one-shots, he gave us all random character sheets to start, and they were various levels of messed up, and they were like random classes, whatever, and Josie's had like 1 hit point left, and Josie's first turn, didn't even make it to her first turn ever, was hit, killed, double hit points, like full dead immediately. And I went, well, good D&D career for Josie, guys. Thank you. That was Josie Morton. Congratulations. Good night.
She'll never play again.
Woo! But to my memory...
Good thing that's not true.
I know. To my memory, I remember you and Danica choosing first in terms of the countries. Because, yes, I remember the conversation of, like, I always play a spellcaster, we seem to have a lot of spellcasters, I'll do something different. And I don't think Danica had much of a preference, because Danica was still, like, what is D&D, what is dice? So, when I have a gun? Can I have a gun? When I just phrased it as, like, Wisdom Nation, Secret Arcane Nation, Fighting Nation, you chose Wizard Smart Nation, and you and Danica both kind of ended up being black sheeps in Imperia, but in opposite ways. So, or not really in opposite ways, even in like sort of parallel ways. You were, a monk that in a nation that normally just values wisdom and not necessarily the fighting part. And he's just a barbarian in the exact same way, like this nation that values intelligence and not necessarily fighting skills. But do you have any memory of your session 0 with Maverick? How, like, kind of the vision that I know we had for what Maverick and Theo would be like versus kind of the reality of what it ended up being?
Yeah, no, the session 0, it was something about Maverick was visiting the school and he needed a tour or something.
Yeah.
I think I was touring him around the school,
yeah.
Which was funny, silly, haha, because, yeah, Theo was just at monk school for a billion years. And yeah, I think the big thing that made it shift is because I really 1,000,000,000% went into playing this character thinking, oh, I'm not going to get to graduate until the end of the campaign. Like, that's it. That's it. And then I graduated immediately and I was like, oh, fuck. I've got to figure something else out.
Yeah.
Wahoo! But yeah, no, I like it better than being in school the entire time.
I think we would be very bored if your whole journey was I need to get credits.
Yeah, no, it would have had to become something crazier. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it still could have been, I think regardless. It would never have been just, yee-hee, school.
It's level 10, I got my second credit, I just need 2 more. Like, yeah, it never would have been that. But
I think it would have been funnier if it's like, so like we keep trying to mail it to you, but you keep moving.
Keep moving?
Like you keep not being in the same place and we don't it's
Yeah.
coming, but if you just stay somewhere long enough, it'll come. And then it's always like, no,
We have to keep moving.
I got teleported to Visalia.
Yeah. It was like you were about to pick it up out of the mailbox, and bloop, you get put. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's just like a really confused carrier pigeon. It's like, I don't get it. What's happening?
And so I remember also we were talking about, just conceptually, we knew that, okay, you're going to be this black sheep in the Wisdom Nation, and we talked about you're a student, you're a monk, or you're an elf, so you've been there for ages. They really want you to leave because you're just so annoying. But at the same time, for some reason, they won't let you graduate. So, like, they clearly hate you and want you gone, but for some reason also, like, there's just always something random at the last minute that prevents you from graduating. And so it's just like this whole thing, and you know, Theo doesn't really understand it either. And you're also ready to like get out on your own and maybe go to Monk University or go exploring or literally do anything.
Anything other than be here right now.
And this kind of restlessness of like I want to be somewhere different and preferably better. And I think we saw a lot of Ellie from The Last of Us in just that vibe from, you know, I think the show had like just come out when this was happening too. So it was like fresh on the mind too. And then Danica's playing a, you know, middle-aged gruff man who has a dark past and don't trust nobody. We were like, I guess you've never seen the game or the show, but
I have seen the game. I haven't watched the show.
Okay. Well, I think I remember all of us being like, oh, okay, like, it could be kind of, you know, maybe this ends up being like a surrogate father-daughter kind of thing as we go on.
And
like,
then...
like, not even for a minute.
No. They were giving, like, cousin.
They were giving, like,
weird, I mean?
Like, weird uncle.
I think it's... Not that I think that this is, like, why it didn't work, but I think that a big part of it is that I don't think Danica could ever be paternal towards me.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever a world in which that could happen. So
and sometimes character bleed, you know.
And sometimes, listen, I don't try to do it, but it just happens. Like, me and Scully,
yeah.
Every single thing that we do, anytime we're anywhere together, we're pairing up somehow.
There's some kind of relationship.
Whether we intend to or not.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and it doesn't matter. But I also think, in a lot of ways, being literally older than him, Theo is so much wiser than Maverick in most ways, too. So, like, that backwards relationship, it just doesn't really work either.
Yeah, I think we really, like, the funny thing about elves is, like, 100 is, like, 18 equivalent.
Yeah.
In terms of spiritually or whatever. I think we didn't account for the fact that regardless of, like, the technicalities of maturity, Theo's still older than Maverick.
Yeah. Sorry. I must blow my nose every minute or else I die. And I am just stepping away from it.
What about the mute button, Queen?
It will mute you as well on the recording.
Be quiet.
I'll be quiet.
Just tell me. I'll be ready. Okay. I'll be like...
Okay, sorry. Yeah, Theo's literally older than Maverick. Theo is far closer to... Theo was born the year after the Great War, versus Maverick being 35. So, yeah, it's an insane difference. But, yeah, and you mentioned it briefly.
Like Gen Z and millennials. Just kidding.
It's just like Gen Z and millennials. I was thinking that it's just like Gen Z and millennials. Theo's the silent generation in this case. And Maverick would be a millennial.
My grandfather.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
You mentioned it briefly. What was it like getting to session 3 or whatever it was, and finding your monk school, and then immediately finding a diploma saying that you did what you were supposed to do?
I literally had no clue what to do. I was like, oh my god. What? Huh? What happened? is it? I was really confused for a while. I really did think though that it was gonna be either the clerics or the druids or whatever. And the fact that Vondel's a vampire really got me. I was like, what the huh?
Yeah.
I was shocked by Vondel vampiricness.
Yeah. Because
But
we have
it
this
is really
whole
funny.
we have this whole like conflict throughout Imperia that it's centered on Maverick only because it's his nation and he's a politician for it and whatever. But a lot of it is really theocentric because it's your holy war. And you got this, I believe, before you went to your school. You got a message from Clementine, this girl that you've met once. That hot waitress that just said, hey girl, by the way, got a vision. Says you're the one true monk. LOL, don't know what that means. Hope that means something to you.
Yeah. I went, I don't know.
What?
I don't know anything about that. Because monk school doesn't teach you about that.
Because
monk school's fucking loser shit.
Because your principal's a vampire that just wants to use you all for your blood.
She's so sick and twisted.
It's true.
Twisting your neck.
We're following like the clerics versus the paladins and all this stuff, and like both sides are hoping to get the monks to kind of sway one way or the other. They're like, no, monks are more similar to clerics, they have ki, that's magic, or no, they're more similar to us, they fight, come over here to the paladins, blah 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 blah. And it's Theo's belief that monks should stay monks, stay on their own.
I do my own thing.
Don't join the holy war.
There's always a third option for everything in every circumstance.
There's always a third option.
I live by that. And I always want the third option.
I'd say 9 times out of 10, you're always going to want the third option.
Yeah.
And so, I remember, we go to the school, we know, like, okay, something's funky is going on with this, paladins versus clerics situation. You want to know a fun fact that you changed the course of this campaign, actually, is, when we were in the school, and you guys were looking at the, like, everything left behind, you guys were doing all these investigation checks to look at the school and, like, the state it was left in, and we were like, well, there's boot scuff marks on the floor, and these like, tapestries on the wall have slashes in them, and things are just kind of recklessly destroyed, and there's papers thrown all over the ground, and all this stuff, and, in Jesse's notes, or whoever was DMing, it's that we were like, that's because the paladins did this, and then you go, wait, guys. Sure, it kind of seems like it's the paladins, but doesn't it more seem like it's the clerics framing the paladins to do this? And Jesse went, like, that's what it is now. Yes, it does seem like that.
That's that creative brain.
So it just, like, obviously didn't change the course of, like, the whole campaign, but
it's
for,
so
like, the rest of that. And then you guys get attacked by a vampire that you don't know is a vampire in that carriage fight.
Scary.
You start hopping from library to library because you're looking for some information on how to get into Terrador. Library. Super boring time of Terrador, TBH. And then we finally run into
travel.
The vampire library, the one where Vondel has all of your classmates strung up and drained of blood. Talk to us about, like, that scene, that battle, everything that came with that.
I thought they were dead. And I think I didn't know that they weren't dead until the next session. Because I was like, are they alive? And then you guys were like, yeah, no, they're just, like, hanging there. And I was like, oh my god. Okay. Because I thought we were toast. I thought they were already dead. So I was just I was like, oh, yes.
Victory.
This is a better situation than I thought.
And then
it was great. I thought they were going to be vampires.
You know, maybe long term. It's been 5 months. I don't know how long it takes to turn into a vampire.
Anybody check in?
Anybody check in?
I gotta send a letter from Abyssalian prison.
They're still in
Hey,
Varanth, though. They've been following you.
that's
You
what I'm
saw them
saying,
recently.
though. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, hey, can someone
Oh,
check in
yeah.
on all those guys that got vampired? Are they vampires? Question mark.
And
Just checking in on that.
do you remember there was a part during all of that, like right at the end of that battle, where the monks still couldn't leave that library, and they were all like, Theo, what do we do? And I think that that was like the beginning of, or yeah, I don't know, maybe not the beginning, but certainly on the upswing of Theo kind of realizing everybody's looking at me and I don't know what to do.
Yeah, definitely. I don't remember what my solution was for that situation, but I do remember that feeling, being like, I don't know, brother,
Yeah.
but I'll figure something out for you to do.
And
If
I
you're not
don't
gonna figure it out yourself,
I don't remember what you did either.
I don't think it was anything crazy. I think I was like, just don't die,
Guys, just be
or something like
careful.
that.
Yeah, I don't really remember what you did.
Lay
Um
down.
and so what do you feel like Theo's journey has been from finding out that she's this one true monk to, like, I'd say now she's more of an acceptance of like, I am a leader, and she's figuring out what that means for her. Like, what's her journey been like?
Yeah, I think I'm obviously very resistant to religion sometimes.
You chose this.
This is true. No, absolutely. But I think that that's because I think one, that's because it's me. But then two, I also think it's just more interesting in a story when you have to have resistance for literally anything to be interesting. Because if everything's too easy, you're going, okay, no stakes, everything's gonna get figured out. So I liked being in turmoil for a while about being like, what on earth is that? Like, I think specifically like the arc of being like, okay, I don't understand why I was chosen for this, to the arc of being like, okay, there's no reason I was chosen for this. How am I gonna do anything right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think that that's an interesting arc to have, that even when you have an answer, like it's still not helpful. And it's just
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I'm gonna be as normal of a person as I can possibly be,
Yeah.
and do what I think makes sense and be good. I think that's like the main point of everything, and also my life.
I think Theo has always been a really rules oriented person, and so like she likes being, even though she, won't admit it, she likes that the inside of the monk academy has the rules on the wall. And if you break
It's
it,
supposed to make sense.
you at least know what's going to happen to you if you do one, if you
Yeah,
break one of those rules on the wall. But there's
exactly.
something
Yeah.
very scary of like going into this thing and then you're being like, "Oh god, no, I have to figure out the rules." And then you finally get the
Yeah.
answer, and the answer is there is no
How can
rules.
Yeah.
Just do it right.
How can I do the best that I can if I don't know what the standards are? Oh, there are no standards. It's just, we'll see what happens when I do things.
Yeah, and it's
We'll
just
see.
this very archaic, like, just do good. And you're going, ah, what is good? Yeah.
You're asking me to decide what morally is good and bad?
And then just seeing what happens to you. Because, like, we saw previous One True
Yeah.
Monks, the leaders of the clerics and paladins, had, decided, they laid out what their guidelines were of what's good and bad. Wrong answer. Bzzzt. Exiled. Doesn't work. Get out of here.
Gone forever.
Have to go
Bye.
lead a different fascist regime.
Yeah, no. I don't do fascism.
I know this about you.
It's not one of my strong suits.
And hey, I love that about you. And so I think that Theo has been on this journey of learning that the rule can be no rules, and like there can still be order and peace and all of these, and fairness and all of these things, without having like a rule book or a Bible.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Because
Bible.
I think that she also understands that circumstances and flexibility are at least part of the equation, so that Because if you say, here's the rule book, don't break these, hashtag no matter what, you know, the matter what could change at some point, and everything could not be applicable anymore.
Who am I to be to change my mind and whatever? Circumstances are crazy. Whatever the best call in that circumstances.
Yeah.
There's never an absolute.
Right. And so then we see the Empyrean scene where he ends the Holy War, thank God. We go to Maverick's debate, and then we are headed to Afriel's wedding. Now, we have kind of a Theo dry spell, and that's partially because we just had a bunch of Theo, and that's partially because Abby was missing for a lot of this part. But talk to me about Theo from, like, leaving Imperia to basically arriving in Varant. So that whole, like, Abbasalia wedding, and then down. There's, like, a part in there where you get deported, like...
Yeah. No, it's so funny because it's like... I was absent so often... Once again, not to sound insufferable, because of grad school, I was sleeping. What happens? And it's just like, whoa. And then I think, like, by the time we got to Varanth and I was able to play somewhat regularly again, it was like, the vibe has shifted from when I last was here, even. So I'm kind of just working with a new palette right now. Let's see what happens. And then... I got my memory wiped.
Yes.
And then I have to do something else. And so I felt like I constantly was like, this is like high concept improv. Like, truly. I'm like, I really got to think a good couple layers about this one.
Your improv director goes, and then, what if you lost your memory again? Like, it's just like, reset. That was the thing that Lorik said was the most difficult about handing Lorik to Megan and then coming back 3 months later. It wasn't, like, missing the content or, like, what the Envoy's been doing. It was, like, the way that relationships had changed. And he said that he felt like a lot of Lorik and Laika falling in love, like, the seeds of it were planted while Megan was playing Lorik. Yeah. And so it's, like...
Because it's Megan.
Because it's Megan and she's beautiful. And so it's just, like... this kind of thing. And I know, like, you had this really intense argument with Cyrus in Imperia around Enchanted Forest time. And then you had this really awesome conversation with Maverick in the forest where you're telling him, like, hey man, say la vie, shit happens, know what I mean? And, like, you're giving him some advice. And, like, you have a lot of these, I think you, Kiana, Bart, Lorik kind of had, like, a 4-kid pack friendship kind of deal, because Lorik was very childlike at the time. And then we go through, like, a bunch of travel and wedding and everything where Abby is in and out, and, you know, when you're not there, Theo is either trancing or she got deported once.
One in particular, I was like, what?
Which, to be fair, that was, like, the one session where it was like, we get to Abbasalia, we're gonna be here for a minute. We need Theo to get to the next location. And we could have just had you be silent for 3 days, which is what we did later. But it's difficult to ask you as an improver to be like, your character was here for last session, but you just weren't. So, you know, factor that in. It's much easier to have, like, you know, Maverick was missing for all of Hell. Danica didn't watch Hell, so she doesn't know what happened. Like, that's so much easier than if we were just like, well, Maverick was there the whole time. Didn't talk to anyone. So... helped it not at all during this battle. And so then we get to see, like, insane vibe shift. Because I think even by Varanth, Theo was not really as good friends with Bart or Kiana anymore. Lorik is an adult. And Kiana is much more of an adult now. And I think Theo, in a lot of ways, is much more of an adult. I think Bard is a lot more mature in a lot of ways. Maverick doesn't talk to you anymore. Like, because you are something he does not understand, and he's very concerned with Cyrus. Like, there was a lot of vibe shifts that were happening. And then just this insane plot sequence where you guys meet Heidi, and Theo's very involved in that session, and even gets this crazy nat 20 history check to remember that, like, whoa, she's been stalking us for 6 months, and then an opportunity does not present itself to do it in session, and then Abby's missing for like 3 sessions, and so then it's just like, okay, so Theo finds out this world-shattering information, and then she goes silent for 3 days. And then I remember the next time that you were back was when we went into hell. And so then we go into hell, and you immediately die.
It was that. I forget, there was also one where I'm thinking about it. It was after we did drugs on the beach.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
I remember I had a false god vision, and I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Am I doing something crazy?
Yeah,
and so my memory.
And then you go silent. No, like, won't talk to anybody for 3 days. And then we go down into limbo, and we have this beautiful roleplay moment where it's like, no, if Rendoshi is a false god, I'm not going to continue to preach his name. If he can't bring me back, he's not somebody I want to preach about anyway. But, and hey, as awesome as that is, you know what you get rewarded with when you roleplay that you're going to let your god kill you?
You die.
It's that you are gone for 4 sessions.
You die is the answer. If you say, hey, I'll let my god kill me, you will die, actually.
And so it's kind of a negative reward, but, you know.
It's kind of like, oh, man, I've got to... Shit.
And I texted you before Limbo, and I didn't tell you what I was going to offer you, but I said, hey, I just need you to know that I would never kill your character.
Yeah. And that's when I knew. I was like, oh, something sick and twisted is going to be set before me.
Yeah.
And always. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it.
I knew you would, but there was part of me, I didn't want you to be presented with that and to think like, okay, I'm choosing between drastically changing Theo's path by renouncing my god and picking a new class or whatever, or picking a new character. Like, I didn't want you to think that those were your 2 options.
No, yeah. You railroad me into that.
In, like, a metagaming sense. Like, okay, you either have to 180 or you have to pick a new character.
Yeah, no, that's so crazy. No. Yeah, I love a ridiculous circumstance.
I know that about you.
I love a ridiculous circumstance. I remember for Ruby, there was a session that we thought I wouldn't be there for, and Aaron was like, well, that's great because it lines up when we need to be there so we can just make sure you get kidnapped. And I was like, amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, I do want that. And then I was there for that session that I was supposed to miss. And so I got to do crazy character stuff in prison.
Yeah.
It was great. I love doing things
that are...
I love a high stakes because then I get to be like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
And so what was your process like to recreate Theo, knowing that, like, we basically told you, have fun. If you want her to have absolutely no memories, if you want her to just, like, okay, some things are fuzzy, like, and you got full control over that. So what was that like?
Yeah, I think I just liked being able to think about what... It's kind of like... I feel like it's weirdly detailed, but I really liked thinking about, like, okay, what are things that were, like, just inherently in her character and what she's like, and what were things that she probably had, like, learned and adapted, like, while being a person. So it's been fun to kind of pick what parts of her were, like, I guess, more restrained, I guess. Like, I'm thinking about... I don't even know what I mean by that, but, like, just thinking about what are things that she's taught herself to be aware of and focus on, and what are things that, like, she's just doing her thing.
Yeah.
Now she's just doing her thing.
Yeah. And what would you say is, like, if we put level 1 Theo and freshly reincarnated Theo next to each other, what are the main differences we see?
I think the biggest thing actually probably is the rule following thing. Is that I think fresh level 1 Theo was very, like, yeah, she was ready to do things correctly, and like for her that meant good until everything's good until something's questioned, whatever. Anyways, I think that she was very set on being just inherently good, yay, wahoo. And then in terms of like rule following, knowing that that's what she would want to do, and then I think resurrected Theo is just like, she's not thinking about it as like, I'm doing the good thing. It's like, this is the option I'm choosing. This is what I think I should do. It's not good. This is what I think I should do. And there's no like specific rule association with it, I think.
You have a stronger intuition now, I think. Like a better gut way to navigate it there. Which helps that, like, I think if you tried to play this character at level 1, it would be harder to know what is this character's gut intuition to do, but you know Theo. Yeah. And you have known Theo for a long time at this point. And so it's easier to know, like, at her core, she would do something like this. But that was a really fun thing to navigate. And then to invent your fake life in Heresy was very fun. And we thought, like, we were looking at, like, okay, which layer should she come back in? Because we were thinking, like, the way that Rendoshi is, you know, resurrecting you, he's not gonna put you on the surface where your friends may or may not ever find you again. And he knows that he can't exactly reconstruct your memory exactly. So, like, I think that Rendoshi's thought process with that was, like, I'd rather give her a secure life that hopefully her friends will come through, save her, and then rehabilitate her into what she was doing previously. Yeah. Versus, like, if he just dumped you on the streets of Varanth or Imperia or Abyssalia with no memory and nothing around to jog your memory, it would be, like... Yeah. Kind of torturous in a way. Like, it really wouldn't be very rewarding. And this way, if your friends did die and they didn't get to you in hell, you have a life and you have something that you're doing in hell. Yeah. And in a way, like, Brick Theo's, you know, thing is still tearing down power structures in Heresy, even if it's kind of a forever cause that's never met. And think about how like, cruel Theo's it would have been. Theo's just an anarchist at her core. Like, imagine how cruel it would have been to, like, dump you on your parents' doorstep. And be like, here she is, no memories, have fun.
It would be insane.
But then your brother died. Your brother died right before Theo got resurrected.
R.I.P. Fletch. Sorry that happened to you, brother.
And which, if audience hasn't seen that we did a one-shot, like, side one-shot of Terrador World called Spell GPT, where
Fletch was there.
It was taking place in modern day, like, while campaign is happening, Imperia, and Fletch Holloway worked at Spell GPT, and that's where this idea for the one-shot came in, because I made that joke somewhere in an early campaign. And Josie's character pushed him into a vortex and killed him. So it's like...
He got turned to mist.
We didn't talk about this early in the discussion, but I feel like early Theo, there was the beginning of a journey navigating your relationship with your mothers that kind of, because Theo's like, I have other things going on, just never got revisited again. What was, like, talk to us about your relationship with your mothers.
I think honestly, it makes sense, like, thinking about how everything progressed, because it's like, the whole point was that they weren't invested in any of the monk stuff. So when suddenly my entire life is, my entire life is, oh, I have to figure this out for the monks. I'm assuming, based off of everything that you've done in my entire life, that you're not, no matter how you act, you are not actually going to be interested in me doing this, and I'm gonna keep going. Right. So, write me when you can. I won't hate you, but I know what you think. Right. Inherently.
But, like, you did get a few sweet letters from your sister and from Emig, but then, like, your mother just, like, at this first indication that you were going down this monk path, was just cruel. And, like, fully left your other... Like, it was this whole thing through that you were only hearing about through letters. And...
Well, rumor really is, like, something that... me. It haunts me. I think about it all the time. What do you mean that's what you thought I did? What do you mean? Why would I have done that?
Or why would you make that up that I did that and then tell people
Why would
that?
you make it up that I did that? Yeah. Why do you think that is something that is like something that can hurt me?
Yeah.
Something that I would do and you could convince people of me doing? It's just like, what are we talking? Huh?
Yeah, your mother
But,
was insane.
yeah.
And, like, I think Thea very quickly, like you said, graduated from, like, caring to not caring. Goodbye.
Bye.
You know,
I've got 50 monks over here that are asking me what to do.
like, waiting on me, bro. Like, waiting on me. Yeah.
I'm not gonna leave them hanging.
And I feel like your sister and you have still maintained at least, like, an okay, you know, like, relationship, and I think your Meg too. But it's also, like, they're kind of like, she's, like, really busy right now. Like, maybe we just don't even bother her. Because, like, the last letter both of them sent you was something to the effect of, like, hey, girl, love you, mwah, see you later.
And then I died.
And then didn't you get a letter from one of your parents because they went to your funeral, but then...
And then they saw that I was alive.
Yeah, and they got... I think at least your MX sent you a letter that was like, hey, is this real? Chat, is this real? Are you actually alive?
And then I responded it, and I was like, yeah, but, like, my brain is so scrambled. I'm so sorry.
I sort of kind of remember who you are. I don't know why you're typing. I sort of kind of remember who you are. Yeah.
But, like, I'm probably gonna be different. I'm not gonna be normal. Whatever your normal is, I'm my normal.
And then you also got this, like, very kind of fun restorative conversation with Fletch in, like, the elf afterlife before you were resurrected. The afterlife, where, like, you and Fletch, the only time you had interacted in game was him going, ah, I hate you! And you guys got, rah! And then in the afterlife, you guys have, like, this kind of sweet moment, so it was nice.
It's because Theo's conscience was wiped clean.
It's because she forgot that she hated him.
She didn't, yeah. If she would have seen him in the afterlife, she would have been like, we both died?
Yeah.
Both of us?
Bro.
Come on, man.
I can't even die and it be about me?
Yeah. At least you died first. I got here second. You died first.
So true.
Anyways.
But then you come back, we meet you in Heresy. Really cool scene that Brooks did for us of, like, you know, your vision raises up to the cloaked figure beating at the statue of the brick. Theo, would you describe your character? And I remember, like, at least Megan and maybe even Danica were like, oh, we're going to meet Abby's new PC and we're going to save this new PC from hell and then move on. And then you were like, so Theo is... And everybody was like, what? Did that feel cool? Was that cool to, like, come back and surprise everyone?
I felt really cool about it. I was like...
I know that, like, there comes a certain point where a lot of that happened back to back, mainly because 3 people chose to die in limbo. And so, not die, but to get stuck, to go, and, like, the air of limbo was like, we aren't sure if those people are dead, if they went to the next layer, if they went back to the surface, and so, like, Lorik and Kiana were never dead.
It could be anywhere.
Right, Lorik and Hugh were never dead. They just went back up to the surface like normal, but, like, you guys didn't know that. And so then there was sort of kind of a reveal of, like, hey, they're on the surface and they're okay. And then, quote unquote, Kiana comes back, like Leica returns in lust, and you're like, wait a minute, you were just gone. Okay, hell's really weird. We can't trust anything.
Hell is strange.
And then Maverick gets stuck in lust, and we have to move on without him. Never said he was dead, but also it's like, I have no reason to believe I'm ever going to see him again, so he might as well be dead. Yeah. And then truly. Maverick follows them through hell, and we see him again at the very end. We find Theo again in Heresy. Leica leaves for real in Greed, and we're like, wonder where she's going. Like, it was this very
weird little moments,
back and forth thing where it's like we're trying to honor where genuinely all of these different characters would be leaving and coming back at various points. It was such a
So crazy.
strange, like, time for, like, editing and stuff, too, but
I
it
bet.
it ended up being very cool thematically that the only 4 PCs who were in hell from start to finish were the 4 Varanthians. So Heidi, Bart, Cyrus, and Azai. And it's like Heidi talked, or Megan talked about this in her
It felt
interview.
like that.
She was like, I mean, not only like literally built to withstand the heat, but there must be something to being Varanthian that just makes you tougher and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
and even though you and Maverick still got through, it wasn't without hiccup. And
Yeah.
Theo didn't go through several of the layers. But
And
then
I
like
never want to.
Leica and Lorik, Kiana and Lorik were like 2 seconds in limbo. And they were like, "It's very hot down here. We're going.
I will disintegrate.
We're leaving here."
Bye.
But that was very cool. And then I feel like we did get to see brand new Theo character arc begin from the moment of you being like, you lost a lot of like your sarcasm too, because when everybody was talking to you first in Heresy, you were like, "Hey, yeah, welcome. So what we do here is we basically take brick and we tear down the statue, and we try to break the statue down. Hasn't worked yet, but we're getting very close. No, I don't remember who you are. No, wait,
What's the deal?
You're a politician, right? Have we met, or you've been to Heresy before?" Like, it was just like you were very like friendly coworker, which was very fun and very unsettling for all of the other PCs.
I remember Megan being like, "That's not Theo."
Yes!
And I was like,
that was in real life. Like, Megan was texting me like, "You're not gonna trick me. I know that that's like a mimic or something. Like, that's not real Theo."
No, it's so funny. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what to do about that.
Same energy as you guys going, "Clearly this is the clerics trying to pretend to be the paladins," and us going, "It was just the paladins. We were not tricking you." But good thinking.
I always believe there's trickery involved.
So you finished through hell, and like I also remember like the ones that involved memories were very strange to navigate, and for like coming up with Theo's visions, and some of them had to do with Brick Theo's life, and some of them had to do with like
R.I.P. Brick Theo.
She's still in you. Don't say that. She's still in you.
There. Yeah, no, it's just what a time.
You still have a fondness for bricks, I think.
Me and Jim.
And then when you guys get back to the surface, I don't remember where in all of that had happened, but you did get part of your memories back. So you remember like that first leg of the journey, I think.
Yeah, it was something about when I went to talk to Rendoshi.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But before we even go there, tell me about Jim.
Oh, I love Jim. He's the best thing I ever made.
He wasn't purposeful.
No. And then he just kept going.
He just kept coming back.
I forget, I made him, like, I also acted him out.
I don't think you acted him out. No,
Brooks did.
Yes, you prompted.
I think that's what it was. It was Brooks's energy to Jim. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't resist.
You were like, "Can I find somebody that I knew here and tell them to be in charge of the bricks?" And you said, "Jim, listen to me. You have to." He's like, "I won't let you down." And that was like the energy that you loved so much.
The energy that he gave, I was like, "Jim, I would do anything for you."
And then I think I was DMing like in between sessions, and I think it was your idea to yoink him along with us.
Yeah, because we were leaving Heresy, and it was like we need to we hadn't left when you were in the session. We were about to leave, and so it was like, "Are we done here?" And then I think I was like, I think you even might have been like, "Is there anyone you want to say bye to?" And I was like,
"Oh yeah,
Jim, Jim."
My 60-year-old half-orc friend.
He's so important to me.
I love the way that Jesse plays Jim. And I know that wasn't like his dream character to play in the, in the middle times. But the way he plays him is so funny. When he just goes, "Yeah, I'm always down to clown." He's so go with the flow
Oh,
on random stuff,
he's
and then
so good for gym.
he'll be so
He's so
opinionated on
good.
other stuff, and he's gay.
Yeah, it's
Like,
so good. He's gay now. He's gay now.
there's a lot of things that are interesting about him.
Which one of you were Jim when I was DMing? Was it you or was it Jesse?
For violence, it was me.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was thinking about the horse.
Because Jesse was missing for a lot of hell.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Due to baby.
That was why we were due to baby. That's why we were DMing. No, that makes sense. But yeah, no, I think about the horse bit that we did so much all the time.
Francisco.
It was so funny. Because truly, I think I had forgotten about Jim. Like, to plan for him, because I was like, I have to think of good things for the main characters, obviously. And then I was like...
And then I went, hey, wait, it's Jim's turn. And you went...
Oh, fuck. But I remember, I think someone had set it up that he liked horses. And so I was like, yes.
I don't remember if yours or Devin's was first, but I'm pretty sure if Devin's was first...
Devin's was first.
Jim's horse...
It was the beds. It was the beds.
Yeah, the bed has horses on it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, no, that was exactly it. I was like, oh, because I remember, yes, I went second because Devin was like, oh, Jim. And I was like, oh, Jim. Write it in really quickly.
I'm going to blow my nose. Hold on.
I'm going to hit my substance. I don't hear you. Don't worry.
Sorry, guys. That was our little get stuff out of us or put stuff into us break.
Yeah. You know me. I like putting stuff in me.
That's what we should have called the bathroom breaks. The put stuff in or take stuff out break. You go get snack or you go to the bathroom.
Snack or piss.
Woo! Anyway.
Ooh, a snack.
So then, this character was introduced at the ball, way back when. But then, as soon as you got out of hell, pretty much, I think there might have been a session or two in between. We get out, we get to Azai's mansion. Everybody's kind of like, I don't know what to do with you, Theo, because you don't remember anything. Kind of like, not trying to cram you full of information immediately, trying to ease you into it a little bit. And while we're sitting there, like, we get some really fun, cool scenes between you and other people, which is like you letting Heidi try on your necklace, or like that whole scene about like, oh, Theo's allergic to black pepper. Like, there were some very cool, like, exploratory scenes here that were really cool in Theo's like recovery or whatever. But then, your monk friends show up. Trander.
What up, monk?
Eva and Autumn. Were you expecting them at all?
Not at all.
Yeah.
I thought they wouldn't have known where I was.
They've been tracking you, baby girl.
I thought it was gonna be like the moment I actually leave the house, they're going to find me. I don't know how they found me.
I don't think that they had an in-game explanation for it. They probably used some tracking magic, like whatever. But they find you and they're kind of like, "Hey, we heard that you were killed, but we didn't believe that. We believe that you would have been resurrected because you're like monk Jesus. So that's cool. Hey, you're like super cool." But then Autumn is the only one who actually treats you like a person.
Yeah, because we were in war together.
Because you were in war together, and you sort of kind of persuaded her to leave her fascist regime.
Don't be fascist. You don't have to be.
And that's what Theo said.
Cool.
And that's what Theo said.
You don't have to. It's true.
Yeah.
It's always true. You don't have to be fascist.
Talk about your side session that highlighted a lot of your relationship with Autumn, but it was also a lot of good information about monk stuff that I think we really needed.
Yeah, I think it was kind of fun to know. Like, I feel like every time Rendoshi does something, I'm like never sure what his power level is. So I'm like, oh, okay, so this is like your deal here, but you can't do this. It's just
Mm,
like kind of interesting. And so I think getting to do monk things in like a group was exciting. Um, I think it was fun.
yeah.
Because I think it was for so long it was like I'm the one true monk and I'm the only one that knows how to do anything because the clerics and the paladins are doing things that are being annoying.
Yeah.
Um and they're getting on my nerves, but I have to keep going. And so it was nice to do things like in a group setting sort of because I feel like it's been so solo for so long.
Yeah.
I want Leica to join.
The clerics? Or not the clerics, the
No, the
monks?
monks.
My dexterity's -2. Does that matter?
It's okay. You can just do the spirit part.
Oh, okay. I'll
Your
think about
dex
it.
might change if if you're a monk. It might get higher.
The moment you sign the paperwork, I hear, you get a little bit less clumsy. So,
Yeah, because it's like, oh, this is your deal. You
if
also don't
I
have to like fight. I mean, no, yeah, you can do
if
other
I
things.
if I redid Terrador from the beginning, like knowing what I know about D&D now, I would have found some closer tie between all of you. And I think that like
We're having
very
strange dreams.
there is something very D&D about six unlikely people come together that never would have met in the real world, and they're sent on this quest to do something, and they kind of don't mesh, and they kind of don't like each other, and they kind of like their skill sets aren't even necessarily complementary, and they don't have any like common background or tie. And there's something very D&D about that, and I don't necessarily like regret that. But if I was starting a new 1 to 20, I'm much more likely to be like, you are all you are from three different monk sects in different parts of the world.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're all coming together for a monk purpose rather than
Monk
trying to balance
purpose.
like
Yeah.
six different backstories
Yeah, no, that
and
makes sense.
but I don't necessarily regret it
Yeah.
because Terrador being so infinitely long, anything can happen and anything can fit.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it's just a little more realistic though, if for the circumstances. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like some, like, okay, party members, you're party members now. Like, I feel like it just kind of that way a lot. Um, and I feel like if things are too set up, sometimes it's like, okay, I don't really know what vibes we're getting. I like it more when I see them interact for the first time.
Yeah.
Unless I think the vibe is extremely established. Because
Mm.
I feel like sometimes it's like if they're already kind of connected, it's like you are still like you as the players are still trying out that vibe, and like you don't have to commit to it if you're like they already know each other. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the freshness of everything makes it a little bit easier to
Yeah.
actually naturally develop
Yeah.
character wise.
Absolutely. And like it's different, when we did post production, you five had never met before, but you all had one very big thing in common. And so there was a lot of comedic differences between you guys that played very
Mm-hmm.
nicely and made for some interesting relationships and friendships. But ultimately, you guys at least had one thing. You had a common enemy, and you had a common shared like trauma of the past.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So
I think it did a really good job at making us not question each other, if that makes
yeah,
sense. Like I feel like that's the biggest struggle when you get that situation where it's like you all have something in common, but you maybe don't know what vibe yours. It's like
yeah,
it doesn't matter. That didn't matter what the vibe was. It was like you all know that at least you have this in common, and there's
yeah,
nothing that can change that. And literally nobody else on the face of the earth also it has this situation going on.
yeah.
So
If I had really been thinking at the beginning of post production, I would have told one of you that you were a Lock Studios plant from the beginning, as like, this person was also in a live show, and you go in there and try to sabotage them the whole time. But I didn't, and so, you know.
I think it's better if we didn't. I think it made for a better dynamic than.
Yeah.
I hate when we're suspicious of each other.
I just want us to be friends. Yeah.
No, because that's always what I want. It's like, oh, no, I know you're fine. Don't be weird.
I do think more realistic change, if I restarted Terrador from the beginning, I would have made you all have met Tandem before. Or have some kind of, like, you have to have a personal connection with him, and not just like, well, I guess I'm going to this now, because...
I'm going to this political funeral.
Yeah. And it's like, I didn't meet JFK. I don't have any love for him. No. So if it had been like, I don't know,
he could have,
Cyrus went to school with him, and, you know,
could have been a monk.
He took monk classes from Theo, and then he blah blah blah, and then he blah blah blah, like, whatever. It would have probably made a little more sense.
What up, Tandem?
What up, Tandem? So as we leave Azai's house...
Sneeze. Oh. I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, I think we're good.
As we leave Azai's house, I feel like from that point of your solo session, we get a little bit of, you know, more of a connection between you and Autumn there, and we leave Azai's house, we go to Tandem Arcanum ghost situation. Theo's, like, as always, very involved in, like, the plot, you know, figuring out what's going on type of thing. And you could definitely tell that, like, you know, she was enjoying trying to put the puzzle pieces together and all these things. But still, with your memory missing, there's less of a personal stake in, like, actually figuring out what's going on with Tandem Arcanum. But
yeah, I just kind of want to know what's going on.
What was Theo's reaction to this reveal about the governor?
I think it's just really interesting because I think at that point, someone obviously would have explained to her everything about that situation. Like, I just know that would have happened, whether or not it did in scene or whatever. But so I think the governor's really interesting because obviously he's the reason we're all together and the reason we're doing things, but he's not really, like, anywhere. Like, we never really hear or see from him. Yeah. Like, I think, like, we maybe see him every 10 or more sessions. Like, he's really not very present. And when he is, it's, like, really briefly. So I think it was surprising just because I wasn't thinking about him very much. Which I think is, like, a good way to reveal it, where it's suddenly, like, it feels obvious, where you're like, duh, but you're not thinking about that guy. So it's like, okay, whatever. Yeah. I don't really care. I mean, I do care, but you know what I mean? It's not like I was like, oh, I really thought it was someone else. It was like, oh, I hadn't even considered that. I'm not even upset. I'm just like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think the governor is supposed to feel very, like, ever-present or kind of looming of, like, okay, well, clearly he had some way to know that we were at Madame Guthrie's children's home because...
Ominous.
Then we get subpoenaed in Varanth. But...
Yeah.
Wow.
Roger.
But then it's like... he still hasn't done anything to you guys?
Literally, yeah.
And also he doesn't seem to know that you know.
Yeah, we've been in so many situations where he could have easily, like, really... messed us up in some way, physically, progress-wise. Yeah. Like, he could have done a lot of things. And then, yeah, I do think that it kind of seems like he doesn't know... I don't know, like, if he necessarily doesn't know anything, but I feel like he definitely doesn't fully know that we know yet. He might think that we're onto him. I think he doesn't know that we fully are aware, and we're like... Yeah. I think he doesn't think that... Well... No, he knows we went to Madame Guthrie's. I want to say, I think he doesn't know that we know about Tandem. There's a
But
chance.
that also depends on, did he even know
Yeah.
that Tandem had left all that information behind? He doesn't
That's
know
what
that
I
you
mean,
found
yeah.
anything. Because I can't imagine he would
Yeah.
let that information stay there if he knew it was there.
Yeah, that's what, yeah, I guess that's a good point. Yeah,
Um,
still. I
but I
think,
think
yeah, he doesn't know the
also
full extent.
it's worth noting that you guys are doing what the governor wants you to do. He has a secret evil plan he's trying to do, and he put you out there to distract the world, to distract the people. And as long as you keep chugging along and fighting some goblins on the beach and going to weddings and balls and public appearances and whatever, like, you're still doing that. It's when you go into hell and disappear for 4 months that he's kind of pissed off. Because, like, yeah, okay, a little bit of time, that's some intrigue and some, like, everybody's going, oh, where are they? But when you're
But
going for
now
that
it's a
long,
big ruckus that we come back.
yeah,
That's what I
and
mean. It's going to be
could
interesting.
be really great for me so that I can do my secret evil plan in private, or it could be, if you guys find stuff out and get too loud, it could be bad for me. So,
Yeah.
trying to keep
I'm
you in one
thinking,
place, hard.
yeah. I'm thinking and hoping that we can keep the vibe going. We can keep the public vibe going so that he's like, okay, envoy, go do your
Yeah,
yes, go do your thing, and then he's not really checking in on us like super closely. So as long as we keep doing things, he'll be like, okay, envoy, go do your thing, so that when we're not doing like public stuff, we could be going and finding out way more information than he's realizing because
yeah,
he's not checking in on us.
right,
That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I personally will be aiming for as I continue to play.
right,
I'm looking for sneaky opportunities for information.
right.
Maybe
Awesome.
I send a few little monks over to the capital and start doing some ruckusness.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
So maybe I
It's
show up
lucky
at
that
the
you have
capital at some point.
it's lucky that you have a posse.
It's lucky that people like me.
Yeah, and so we pretty much, like, the remainder of your time in Varanth is like that. It's reacting to that Halloween party, Azai's shot, whatever, and then you're immediately teleported to Abyssalia, even though you're subpoenaed in Varanth. Talk to me about what Theo was thinking, what her mindset was for all of that. For, like, first the teleportation, and then it goes immediately into Lorik's rampage and clear, like, possession and fighting with this pirate, and ultimately Kiana kind of betraying the party, and then the death.
Yeah, I think that what I think is really funny about the teleportation and the subpoena is that truly it was like, oh yeah, we got subpoenaed, whatever. We're gonna go party for Halloween and I'm gonna get so drunk. Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? You can't leave Emberholm, and it's Spirits Day.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't know, it's Halloween. I'm gonna get drunk. So I just thought that was really funny because then, like, immediately after, it's like, okay, next session, I wake up, I'm like normal, sort of hungover. Oh no, fighting. Oh no, fighting. Oh no, fighting somewhere else. Oh no, teleportation. Where are we? Oh my God, Lorik.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot.
it's like it was just suddenly like, oh.
Yeah.
And so I think it was just kind of interesting to make that switch so quickly to being like, oh, fuck, I'm gonna do something insane right now.
You guys go from,
Yeah.
like, 5-6 sessions in a row where you are processing hell, chilling, having scenes you want to have, making connections, Halloween fun time silliness, meeting silly NPCs, and then it's like plot, 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 all at once.
Yeah.
Right before a
Like,
hiatus.
don't get comfortable. Don't get
Never.
comfortable. Never
Don't
have
get
fun.
comfortable. Never
Die.
have fun.
Die.
Every time
Die.
you drink, you get teleported to a different nation.
It's true.
One moment.
It's what happens to me every time.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Woo! So,
I agree.
yeah, so much going on. Theo's probably, I mean, just so overwhelmed of like, oh my god, we were doing nothing and now we're doing everything.
Because, like, truly, what the hell is going on?
And none of you even
What?
knew that Lorik was having this, like, battle with this pirate ghost man. Certainly not Theo.
No.
So
Of all the things I remember, it's definitely not that.
So then Lorik's standing across the beach from a ghost pirate, and they're going, at long last, we finally meet again to settle our tabs. And you're going, who are you?
This guy! Have we seen him before?
And then
everyone else was like, no.
Wasn't it Theo who saved Laika from being impaled by a spike by Lorik?
Yep, it was.
And then I immediately betray you. Sorry, girl. What was like?
It's ridiculous.
Theo, I know in session you said Theo's very mad. What was like?
Yeah.
Do you think that remains?
I think she's not mad. I think she's just like, I think mad, but also specifically just upset and like frustrated, because I think truly, I think it goes back to the thing of being like, why did you think that was like the thing to do?
Yeah.
Why did you actively choose that? Even if you thought about it, like, why did you do that? Like, I get it if you thought about it, but like, why did you choose to do it?
Yeah.
I think specifically, I think it really actually kind of starts with like her not realizing that Lorik is like going fucking crazy. Because the rest of us are like, he's about to go crazy, and like is like, no, he wouldn't hurt me. I'm like, his eyes are red. He's levitating and his eyes are red. I think he's gonna hurt anything.
Jake,
like, you know what
Jake,
I mean?
this isn't you. This isn't you, Jake.
Yeah, no, literally, she's like, stop doing that. It's not helpful to any of us.
Yeah. And I would I would really love to say that Laika was thinking, hey, Pirate really wants Lorik, and he's kind of beating up on everybody else. Heidi's down. If I teleport me and Lorik away, Pirate will follow us and beat up Lorik instead. Would love to say that was purposeful. I mean, it accidentally did give you guys at least a minute to, catch your breath. But not at all. Not even a little bit what Laika was thinking. Wish I could say it was. It was full selfish. Me and Lorik need to get out of here. She didn't know that the pirate would follow them. And that's true. But then it's also the awkward thing of like, hey, I heavily disagree with how you handled that. But I also know that your boyfriend just died.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything because I'm also upset about that just in general. Yeah. So I'm not going to say anything about it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep that in mind for future scenarios.
Yeah, like if Laika is ever crazy individualistic again, then that's always something you can bring up, which would still be mean as fuck to bring up. But it would, when it's less fresh, it makes more sense to bring up.
Yeah. So. I'm also definitely thinking about it more in like how I'm trusting in like giving information and whatnot. Like how I'm treating you in conversation is where I'm really thinking about it. Because it's going to be like, well, do you want to like ask me about it? I'm going to be like, not really. You haven't been interested in the group for a while.
Yeah.
You haven't been interested in anything I'm doing for a while.
That's true. And I think
why should I go out of my way to do that?
Yeah. And I think Laika really dropped the ball on Theo as a person and as a friend, because by the time you got out of hell, like there was so much going on when you guys all got out and like whatever, and we were fetched and brought to the portal and everything. Yeah. Lorik and I had just spent 4 uninterrupted months together. So we are, we're in love, whatever, that's fine. Whole different thing going on. But then also we get to the mansion and it's not only Theo's not actually dead, but it's also Maverick got through. And who's Jim? And like there's so many things going on, and it's like everyone is sick and like physically like sick and ailed and injured, and 90% of them have some varying level of no memory. And so I think that was like very overwhelming for Laika. of like, I can help heal your physical injuries and like kind of treat Azai's house like a infirmary for a little bit and get everybody healed up, but I can't do anything for the memory thing. And Theo was very intimidating to Leica, I think. Like the prospect of approaching you and going, hey, we used to have kind of a nice bond, and you don't remember that at all now. Like, it was very intimidating, and so she just didn't, and that's not the right thing to do, but, like, a mix of just, like, the intimidation of it, and being very preoccupied by fighting her demons when it comes to Lorik, then, like, and she was going through a midlife crisis, like, she just completely dropped the ball.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
And I can foresee, with Lorik being dead and us being in this jail for who knows how long, I can foresee a lot of things about Leica changing. And her relationship with the rest of the Envoy could certainly be one.
Yup.
I'm already considering, like, how is she going to go about this potential atonement to the Kraken? How is she going to go about grief? How is she going to go about, like, she's really wounded her friendship with everybody in the Envoy in some way. Like, and now we're trapped in a jail cell together. So it is like I can foresee probably something happening. Who knows there. But I think you and Heidi are both going to be very focused on getting out and getting back to it. Like, okay, anyway, you know, let's get out of here and get back to the Envoy. And I know from Devin's player interview that I think Bart is very mad at everyone right now because we forgot him. And no one noticed that he was missing.
It's so upsetting because it was up to rolls.
Yeah. Yeah. Really high DCs, too. Because you were drunk and, like, yeah, it was all these things. So
it was so bad.
Bart's upset over that.
I didn't forget Bart.
I didn't forget Bart.
Said that I forgot Bart.
It's this, like, Bart's mad at the Envoy for that, and Lorik. Theo's kind of upset at how the situation was handled, and Lorik. You know, I think
everyone's upset.
Heidi is at this point of, like, I didn't know Lorik that well, but, you know, still a person that I kind of knew is dead, and trying to navigate, like, I'm in a room full of people I barely know, and they're all grieving somebody they love very much. And just, like, it goes through. Maverick is grieving Lorik almost to the same level that Leica is. And I think that reflected by you and Heidi, specifically Heidi, who isn't really grieving Lorik, to be going, you know, like, trying to figure out a way out. I can see that really itching people the wrong way, specifically, like, Bart, Mav, Leica. If Cyrus, Heidi, Theo are trying to, like, you know, burrow out with a spoon or trick a guard into letting him out or whatever, I can see those who are really grieving being like, what are you in such a hurry over? Like, there's nothing left out there. Lorik's body is still warm, and you're already like, let's get back to defeating the governor? Like, how can you care about any of this right now?
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be interpreted that way. And I know that I'm like, it's not about the governor. It's about, we're in a location where people clearly are trying to, we're in a fixed location and people are clearly making effort on us from many other sides. And so we need to get back to at least the place that we're supposed to be punished by law recently. Yeah. I think, quote unquote, right? Yeah, right. I think we need to be where we can't be away when people are scheming against us in other places. We have to be there to be able to retaliate.
Yeah. But then, like, in Megan's interview, Megan did say that she thinks Heidi is eager to figure out the governor's plan and avenge Tandem and defeat the governor. And, like, that concept for, I think, like a Bart and probably Maverick, who are so personally wounded right now, I can see maybe, like, a Marvel Civil War situation happening, which I don't want, but I think if nothing else, it would cause, like, some more heated discussions.
Yeah, it'll really depend on how prison is.
That's true. That's
Like
also very true.
it's gonna really depend on the conditions of the prison.
Yeah.
Cause like if we're in pairs, it's so much different. Like if we're all in one cell, yeah, that's kind of like a different thing. But like I got a feeling that they're gonna split us up, and it's gonna be weird.
Yeah. And I
Cause
have
it's gonna
no
be all
idea
of the
because that's
girls.
Jesse.
It's gonna be yeah, that's what I mean. It's gonna be all of the girls and then Bart and Maverick. You know, like
And
it's
Bart
gonna
and
be
Maverick will
crazy.
be. But even if they split us up by gender, Bart and Maverick would be sitting there going, ah, I guess we'll die here. And then
Exactly,
the
and then we're
girls.
gonna be like, we're getting out of here, and Leica's gonna be like, but I'm sad, and we're gonna be like, you can't be sad in prison.
They're gonna strap me to like a wooden board and carry me out of the jail cell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'd be like, you're coming with us whether you work. You don't have to work on this. It actually will probably help if you make it look like we're defeated. Yeah.
I'm like running a cup
Yeah.
along the bars. Yeah. But yeah,
Chipping
from
away at us with a
this
spoon.
is like kind of what you were just saying, but so Theo's plan is let's get out of here. You know, we got to be
Yeah.
where people want us so we can retaliate.
Yeah.
Hoping we'll see how prison is. We'll see how fighting goes. We'll see, you know, if we fight, hopefully not. Like all these things. I have
If
three.
it's a big prison, it's gonna be interesting.
If it's
big
like
prison.
everybody in one room, you know.
I was also thinking though, if it's like we're put in a like a general prison.
I don't
Wouldn't
think
that be
that's
crazy?
true because you guys went into the underground palace. So if anything, it will be a dungeon.
Special.
But I think best case scenario, you're just trapped. You're not allowed to leave the palace.
If
Like you're.
there's someone else in the dungeon, I am talking to them.
I know that about you. You're gonna be best friends with that person, whoever it is.
I'm gonna be like, hey. what's
It's
up
like
with
the
you? And
classic,
Jesse's gonna be like, I'm in here because I stole a cake, and I'll be like, do you want to get out of here?
And then we have a new Jim.
yes, Jimbert.
It'll be an emaciated old man with
Jimbert.
with a long beard, and he's like shackled from above. Yeah.
Yeah, Jimbert.
But yeah, I have three
Ugh.
rapid fire questions for you to
I'm
end
ready.
off, and just answer. You know,
Is this VIP?
the answer that you can comes to mind first, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah.
Your first rapid fire question: is there anything that you would change?
I would have made Theo's outfit cooler in the first level.
Okay.
I love her, but I think it could be cooler.
Number 2, where does your character want to go from here? You kind of already answered this.
Mm,
You
yeah,
can
I
think farther
I-
ahead than prison if you want to.
Yeah. I think it's just kind of getting ready to continue because I feel like we keep almost starting something and then we get interrupted. So I think Theo's kind of really excited for a plan to go right. I think that's really where Theo is at least right now, is wanting to have something that they know completely what they're working towards, like in some way. You know what I mean? Like we are on the way to doing something rather than figuring it out again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the last one. What is the meaning of life according to Theo?
Aw, man. I think I already talked about it a little bit. I think it's kind of like not really thinking too much about like sides of good and bad, because I feel like everything always has good and bad in it. So does Theo, I imagine, because I am her. But I think it's a lot to do with that, and being like, okay, I'm going to focus on what I always feel gravitated towards what I think is like the best way to handle the situation, whatever it is. And so I think that's it. Go with what you are drawn to doing. Because don't worry about a tally of good and bad. Just live and be there.
Awesome. Well, If you have enjoyed Theo at all over these last 10 levels, and hope to see her more in the second half of the campaign, you can like, comment, and subscribe and do all that YouTube stuff. We are filming this at the end of January, or like mid-January of 2026. We will begin filming Terrador again in March of 2026. But in the meantime, there will be some one-shots that are out after these player interviews, but before more Terrador. But we'll see you guys in the jail, probably around April 2026.